Okay, this is question 4 on the foundation non-calculator paper. Let's read the question first. Liam throws a fair coin once. Now, a fair coin means that there's an even chance or an equal chance of both heads or tails coming up. So it's a 50-50 chance of getting a heads or a tails. Ideally, it's the probability is a half that you get a head or a tail. On the probability scale below, mark with a cross the probability that he gets a head. So, as I just said, if it's a fair coin, the probability he's going to get a head is a half. So, there's my cross. Let's look at the next bit. Anne rolls a fair dice once. So, if it's a fair dice, each of the numbers on the dice have an equal chance of coming up. On the probability scale below, mark with a cross the probability that she gets a 7. Now, on a typical dice, we know the numbers go from 1 to 6. What's the probability of getting a 7? Impossible, or 0. Yep, so there, I'll mark it across at 0. Alright, now let's just move this up so we could look at the next bit. Okay, so part C. Fred throws a fair coin and rolls a fair dice. So he throws a fair coin, rolls a fair dice, list all the possible combinations that you could get. And here they've done the first one for you. And the H means heads, the 1 means a 1 on the dice. So I'm going to actually stick to this. I'm going to go heads and a 2, heads and a 3, heads and a 4, heads and a 5, and finally heads and a 6. Now, although I said finally, that's just the combination I could get if I get a heads on the coin, and these are the numbers 1 to 6 on the dice. But what if he got a tails on the coin? He could get a 1 on the dice, or tails and a 2, tails and a 3, tails and a 4, tails and a 5, tails and a 6. And there are all the possible combinations that you could get, right, when he throws a coin and a dice. Right? The next part says, write down the probability that Fred gets a head and an even number. What's the probability he gets a head and an even number? Okay, so I need to use this part here, right? Now, how many different possible combinations did I have? Well, I have those 6 and another 6, so that's 12 altogether. So my probability is going to be out of 12 because there are 12 different possible combinations that I could get. And how many of those involve a head and an even number? So the heads are going to be in that line there, and a head and an even number, there's one of them, there's another one, and there's another. So there's 3 of all of them where it's a head and an even number. So that's going to be 3 out of 12. Now, the question didn't say anything about simplifying your answer, but I could simplify this answer down to 1 over 4. If I divide both top and bottom by 3, 3 into 3 is 1, 3 into 4, 3 into 12 is 4. Although it didn't say simplify your answer, you could leave your answer as 3/12. You're still likely to get full marks in this. Okay, pretty straightforward question here. Make sure you do get it.